Hello, Taurus. Welcome, to your November reading for 2025, or whenever you see this message, okay? Thank you guys so much for being here. It is Sunday, November 2nd at 12:29 p.m., and we're going to get into these messages. Now, you guys be sure to follow your intuition first and foremost, above anything else. Don't bring anything into your life that does not belong, you guys. That would not benefit you. And if you do choose to cross watch, remember, crotch watch. Anyway, if you choose to cross watch the reading, remember that I am reading for Taurus. And more than likely, if you are dealing with a negative Taurus, because my intention is to connect with people who have elevated or wish to elevate, more than likely, your negative Taurus is not the same as the Taurus is in this reading. And usually when you cross watch, the message that I'm getting for Taurus may be the message for you, because you're flipping it and it's all jumbled up, okay? Y'all be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Get in the comments, let me know if it resonates. And if you want to check out any of my services, click the link in the description box, okay? Let's see for Taurus, guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for November, when it comes to what you want Taurus to know or what they need to know for the month. Ooh, what is this? Betrayal, child. What is the message, Spirit, that Taurus needs to know for November? What is the message for Taurus? Loneliness, but it's in reverse. Okay. Somebody's choking on their words, child, because I doggone near choked just now. I got a cough drop in my mouth, but I was about to say that a lot of you guys aren't feeling very lonely or alone. That was interesting because I did water first, and there was a really heavy theme of people feeling like isolated and feeling alone and being cast out or, blocked from certain spaces. But you're getting loneliness in reverse. That's interesting. We have theft. Child. So, and oh my God. And then betrayal is at the back of the deck. What? Okay. So Taurus, it appears that you could be in a position where you're kind of distracting yourself from some type of loneliness in a way, okay? But it could be like a coping mechanism. So you want to be mindful of that, right? I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And some of you guys could be using alcohol, drugs. I'm not a doctor, lawyer, or a psychologist. Disclaimer is below. But if you have found yourself lately trying to numb or cope by using external influences or substances to deal with the loneliness that you could be feeling, Spirit is telling you that this is only going to lead to kind of you betraying yourself or betraying your projects, your gifts, your talents, your skills, your abilities. Okay? There could be someone who is stealing from you and they're not doing it alone. They actually have like a third party who is helping them. You could be researching this, trying to figure out what's distracting you, what's taking your energy, what could be a hindrance for your forward progress. I feel like somebody is investigating a theft that took place or that's currently taking place. And you're going to find that someone has like a co-conspirator. They have an accomplice. They're not doing this alone. They're doing it with someone else. There's a third party involved. And you may feel, when you find out what's going on or who's working together, you may feel very betrayed. Okay? Someone could have betrayed your trust. What else? for Taurus? We have fuego. Okay, hot. Spit hot fire. I know I'm corny. I say dad jokes or mom jokes. I don't know. Chemistry, intense passion. Things are heating up. And then we have dirty money, laundering, stealing, illegal. See, there's some type of theft going on or illegal activity. You need to be mindful. SOS, distress, act with urgency, assistance needed. Okay. I feel like if there's somebody doing illegal things around you, or someone who's been possibly in trouble with the law before, someone who's just not moving with the best intentions, they're getting caught up. Somebody is sending a distress signal or asking for help, possibly. Be mindful of the people who you help. Because somebody may be coming to you asking for help and they're not actually doing the right thing, so to speak. Right? Because doing the right thing, quote unquote, could be subjective, but it kind of feels like really someone is being investigated and you may not know about it. And they could be involving you, or you could become culpable, complicit, or connected in some way to their negative behavior. Somebody is taking money illegally, or there's some type of finances involved with whatever this is that someone's doing. I would just warn you to be cautious. What else? Oh my God. Imprisonment. The heat is on. The heat is on. Okay. Not adjudication. And concern. This is crazy. 29 imprisonment, 30 adjudication, 33 concern. So somebody's going to get sent to jail for theft, money laundering, stealing, something illegal. And I feel like someone is worried here because either they're finding out that they're involved, or they're finding out that they're going to get in trouble for whatever this is that they are doing. There could be someone who betrayed your trust and involved you or made you complicit in something that you weren't aware of was bad, but that you're about to find out is bad. I feel like whoever's concerned or worried, specifically if it's an older person, the situation looks really bad, but I also feel like there is a deciding factor, a judge, a lawyer. Well, looks more like a judge. Looks like the person with this adjudication card who's deciding the outcome of a case. It looks like they're finding someone innocent. Like there's a person who's worried about being accused of being involved with someone or involved in something negative with someone. And I feel like there's a person who is innocent here who's going to be found innocent. I can't say who that is, though. I don't know who that is. I don't know what you've been into. I don't know what you're involved in. I don't know what the people around you have been involved in. And I don't know how much you've decided to involve yourself in whatever this is. If you need to contact a lawyer, because that is what I am not. But what I'm telling you is that there is an innocent person with that child card underneath the adjudication, where a person is being found innocent if they are innocent. Opportunist, personal gain, self-serving, taking advantage, egocentric. Yeah, so someone I feel like is involving you in something negative because they want to cover their own ass. They want to save themselves. Yes. Oh, okay. And we have denial. So you may be able to avoid this if you tell someone no, or you set a boundary with someone who you don't trust or who you don't necessarily know that well. There's a criminal in your midst, and I don't know who it is. Okay. But the innocent person will be found, and the concern that the innocent person has for their involvement in this, there is like hope. There's some type of hope or silver lining in the situation. This is bad, though. Okay. So there's a group of people, or there's a conglomerate here who are in this together. They're not doing this alone. Okay. I think that's why Spirit is telling you on the back end of this message to be mindful of the company you keep and be mindful of how you cope or deal with loneliness, feelings of longing for companionship, because you may desire to have companionship or friendship, camaraderie with people. You may desire to get out into your community, go out, have a good time, or, be around people. And, if you're not careful of who you're around, you could find yourself involved in some hot shit. And Spirit is saying, like, hey, don't just hang out with any old person because you want to hang out. Don't just be around people because you're either afraid of being alone or you're feeling lonely. Really be mindful of the people who you allow in your space. Because somebody here is literally a criminal, which could put you in a negative position or, could, ruin your future in some way. Okay, what is it that you want Taurus to know? 7 of Wands. Yeah, somebody's got a good defense lawyer, I feel. Or someone is being attacked. It feels like 7 of Wands. Someone is being attacked unexpectedly, or because someone has a position that they've acquired or accomplishments that they've made, people are trying to come out of the woodwork to kind of like attack them or take their position. Okay, 7 of Wands. That could be a Leo, possibly Sagittarius, Aries. Wheel of Fortune, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, maybe even Sagittarius. Strong Leo and Sagittarius. Possibly Aquarius. You, Taurus, as well. Scorpio. These could be all the signs that are involved or time frames of which something happened. But there's a shift that's happening here where now someone is feeling the heat. They're feeling the pressure. They're feeling under fire. Yeah, look at that. The devil with the flames. The perspective of the world is shifting. And someone is trying to defend their toxic ways or their toxic behavior right now. And I feel like in the past, someone was being viewed in a very neutral or positive light for what they were doing. But because sentiments have changed or the collective perspective of people have changed, this person's actions are being revealed to be very toxic, predatory, negative. Capricorn energy as well with the devil. I'm chewing a cough drop, y'all. There could also be a shift in the amount of pressure that someone is receiving when it comes to doing the right thing as well. Because things are shifting and because things are changing, you may find, if this is not something as serious as this, it could be a metaphor that Spirit is presenting to you so that you can be prepared for November. Because there could be a shift in how people receive you or perceive you. And that could be like the inverse of what I said about the criminal, right? Like if sentiments are changing about someone who is bad and they're starting to receive a lot of pressure and heat because their actions are actually really toxic and bad, and they're having to defend their actions even though they were really kind of horrible, the same thing could happen for like good people, right? And I'm not God, so I can't judge who's good or bad. But if someone is generally a positive person or they spread a positive message, they put positivity out into the universe, there could be a lot of you who are that way. And you may find this month that you get a lot of hate. Like you may get a lot of hate online, or you may get a lot of, side eye looks or negative looks, evil eye looks from people, glaring stares and glances from people, just because you kind of try to spread a positive message, right? I feel like the heat is turning up on both ends, but the tables can quickly turn towards. So I just want you guys, to keep that in mind, because you want to be careful of what you involve yourself in. What's the 7 of Wands? Oh, my Lord. The 4 of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Yeah, people are very stingy right now. People are not really very forthcoming with their time, energy, money, effort, resources, finances. Yeah, there's a shift. And because of it's like you can feel how people's energy is shifting. You can feel how the dynamics of our reality are changing. You guys feel it. I feel like you're also a part of a shift that's being created, or a change. You could be a lawyer. You could be someone who changes laws. Maybe you're a politician. I don't know. There could be someone who is going to change laws or policies that could affect you, right? Whatever this change is, it kind of feels sudden, but it kind of doesn't feel sudden at the same time. It feels like a bit unexpected, but something that kind of feels like the natural order of things, the way things are going. Someone could have some really questionable or sketchy business practices as well. There could be businesses that are changing their policies to become really predatory because they're working together to knock people out of their positions, right? So you could find that your job is, reprimanding you or punishing you for things that are really minuscule, really petty. And it kind of feels like, are you trying to get me fired? Like that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like someone is being set up here to take the fall for something that they didn't do, or they're being set up to like be terminated, fired, laid off, let go unlawfully because they violated some random policy that the company just created to get rid of people as an excuse, right? That's what it feels like. It feels like possibly even laws legally that are changing, maybe driving laws, and you don't know that this was a law that was put into place, but now you find yourself getting a ticket and going to court and having your license threatened to be suspended because of some law that you knew nothing about, that the government just decided to change randomly so that they could get people caught up. It's like that type of energy. Yeah, justice. And the Two of Swords. That's crazy. It's something definitely that you didn't know. It's like something legally that you weren't aware of, or that you weren't told was illegal, or you didn't know that this was something bad, or you didn't know that the law was changed. See, justice and the wheel. It's like somebody purposefully didn't tell you about a policy change or some type of law that changed, so you weren't following it, and therefore you're liable for, not making the change or not following the policy or not following the law. But I feel like it's because people want to get you out of your position. I don't think it's going to work. And even if it does, Spirit is kind of saying like, let it go. If they want to take something from you and they're able to take it, it wasn't meant for you in the first place. And I know that might be hard to hear, but it's real, because Spirit doesn't want you to fight for something that kind of like they're removing from you for your benefit, because then it's like you're putting yourself in a very precarious position. Something is really evil. Libra, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Capricorn, maybe even Sagittarius. Whatever this is really like evil. I also feel like with the Wheel of Fortune and Justice, the universe, God, Source, Spirit, whoever you pray to, they're going to balance this out. Even if you don't see it right now, even if you don't have all the details, like this could have been something that happened in the past, right? Like somebody was wrongfully convicted or wrongfully terminated or wrongfully accused. There could be people who are being kind of like targeted or attacked for who they are, for the light that they have inside of them, for their destiny, for their path, what they're meant to do. Like you're meant to hold on to some type of position. And I feel like Spirit is aligning with you and working with you so that you do hold on to your position. But they also want you to know that if you lose it, they have another position lined up. And it's like there's this unforeseen force. With the devil card, it's not just toxicity. It can be, but it can be excess. It can be obsession. It can be things that are very much so shrouded, hidden, occulted, things that you don't see, forces that are invisible puppet masters, right? It can be all of that stuff. And I feel like you don't see all of that going on, but you know it's going on. But you also don't see like the battles that are being fought on your behalf. Wow. Taurus, what is going on? Somebody could have even like stolen your identity, maybe stolen some type of intellectual property. What's hidden that Taurus doesn't see this month? The Sagittarius is hidden. Also temperance, balance, order in the chaos. You don't see how something is going to end up panning out. Like you don't see how it's going to end up working out. By Sagittarius season, it may all come together. I feel like by Sagittarius season, it'll blend together and you'll understand more about what's going on. Okay. The King of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Yeah. Yeah. So by Sagittarius season, what they're saying is it's hidden right now because you don't know what's going to happen. But there's a reason why. There's a reason why with this King of Pentacles. It's like Spirit wants to reassure you with what's hidden, because there's a reason why you were put in the position that you were put in. There's a reason why you do things the way you do, or you feel like you have to follow a certain set of like unseen laws or follow a certain set of policies. Like you live by a code of conduct. You live by a set of morals and ethics that you kind of stand on with everything that you do. It's like, even if it's different topics, you could be at work, you could be at home, you could be out in public, but you always approach each of those situations with the same code of conduct, right? You may treat people with the same code of conduct. You never do people dirty, or you always strive to be honest in situations. There's a reason why you do things the way you do things, partially because you were raised probably that way, or because you lacked nurturing growing up, you developed your own code of conduct. But whatever led you to this point to have this like habitual behavior of how you approach situations, it was no coincidence. You were built that way. And that's why you do things the way you do things, because you know that things like this that I'm describing could happen. So like if you're at work, you never cut corners. You always follow the policy, right? You always do what your boss tells you to do. You BB and CC people into your emails because you want to have a paper trail. Like you keep the receipts. It feels like that type of energy, because it feels like you've been in situations, or you've, heard of people in situations that don't follow those codes, or they don't follow the policy, and it like leaves open space for them to go down with the ship, or for them to be persecuted for their behavior, right? Even if they didn't intend for that to be the case. So what a lot of you don't see, you could be ending up balancing out a situation because you're just fed up. You may just leave because you're fed up. You may be called to follow your heart into the unknown. You may be in a position where you just feel like you have to do things a certain way and you're not sure why, but it's because you can't do it any other way. But that is what's going to balance out a situation that's going on. Wow, the Seven of Swords. This is not good. Eight of Wands, Eight of Cups again. I feel like somebody's trying to push you out of your position. Like, if there's somebody who's trying to get you fired, trying to get you in trouble with the law, they're kind of trying to force you to do something that they want you to do without knowing that they're actually helping you do what you're meant to do. That's what's hidden. This could be about secret communication. This could be about sneaky communication, somebody making sneaky moves behind the scenes, trying to sway a situation in their favor by cutting corners or doing something illegal. It just feels like somebody wants to get their way by any means, at any cost. And there's a distress signal now that's going out because I feel like the heat is on. It's heating up for somebody, right? And it could be heating up for you as well, for someone who's, considerably objectively doing the right thing, so to speak, right? I feel like somebody could be emailing or texting people, and they could be like in a group chat talking about how to get you fired, how to get you in trouble, how to get you caught up. I feel like all of that is going to be balanced out, or it's going to come together. It's going to be revealed. Someone is kind of like walking into their own trap. Like somebody does not know that they're walking into their own trap. And I feel like it's a trap that they created for you that's going to end up swallowing them up. Real shit. And there could be like jail time. Somebody could go to prison. Okay. The streets is hot. What's the advice? Oh my God. You don't expect this. If any of you guys, I don't care if you're cross watching or you're a Taurus, but if any of you guys are doing something that you're not supposed to do, or you're hanging around sketchy, questionable people, you better figure out how to get your ass the fuck up out of there. And I'm not saying that to protect you, because I feel like it's already too late. But if any of y'all are doing anything wrong that you shouldn't be doing, I suggest you change your ways. That's all I can say for you. Okay, but for those of you who know you're not in the wrong and you're innocent, you may be worried or stressed about what's going to happen next, but I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, the devil, there's a lot that's about to happen that you don't expect. There's a lot that's going on behind the scenes that you don't expect. Okay, Capricorn, Aries energy, possibly Sagittarius, again, Leo. I feel like you're attached to someone toxic and you don't expect for them to take some type of action. They're going to do something reckless or spontaneous in this connection, and it could put you in a negative position. Chariot. Yeah, there's something moving really quickly, and you don't expect this. Strength. And the Empress, your energy, Taurus, possibly Libra, Virgo, Leo, Cancer, Aries. I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to see how to be brave enough and courageous enough to get out of a comfort zone or to get out of a bad area. Like literally, you could maybe be needing to move to a more safe, secure, abundant place. Like something about the land that you live on, or maybe the city, state, or zip code, the country possibly that you live in, because this is major arcana. Like maybe you're being asked to be very brave and to remember how strong you are so that you can move forward in the way that Spirit is guiding you to move forward, because it kind of feels like there's a lot that is coming up against you. Feels like a strong fire sign energy, a Libra. I don't know. But it's like maybe a Capricorn even. There's a strong energy of someone who's coming up against you aggressively. You may want to go watch, whose reading was that with the aggressive person? I think it was Cancer. I haven't done fire yet. But it's like they want you to be brave and courageous and never forget the power that you hold. And you can use that power in many different ways. It may not be outward projection of power. It could be a silent power, but never forget that you have it. Because I think there's something that you're being asked to do that's really scary. You could be testifying against someone who you know is going to feel betrayed by you. You could be speaking out against some type of injustice, and that could put a target on your back. But I feel like you're doing it, or you're being called to do it, because It's like Spirit wants you to be the person who sends out the distress signal or the SOS to get people aware of something that's going on. It's kind of like you're the Paul Revere of a situation. They want you to be the one to kind of blow the whistle on what's going on, because you may think that you're the only one that this person betrayed or sabotaged or stole from or cheated, but you're actually not. This has happened to other people because whoever this is moves around as an opportunist. And I feel like something unexpected may happen that you don't see by speaking up, because if you speak up with the Chariot card, it's like that's answering the call that Spirit has kind of made to you about what you need to do in the situation. What was the other card with the Three of Wands, child? What was the other card with the Three of Wands, child? Y'all be sure to like the video. Please like the video, you guys. It really does help. Listen, because we're catching the vibe. It was real hype last night. The water sign readings was crazy. What was the other card, y'all? Help me find it. The Devil, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people, I'm going to be honest with you. You may receive retaliation for this, because I feel like there's a group of people involved, or there's a group of people who are benefiting from this really slimy energy. And they may be mad at you, but they're going to be in jail. You get what I'm saying? It's like your testimony is the testimony that, you know, puts them in prison or jail forever, right? You could be testifying. You could just be giving your testimony online, speaking out about what happened to you. And it's like a spiritual jail. It could be literal jail, but that's what it is. And once they're locked up, it's indefinite. There's no end in sight. So it's like they won't be able to retaliate. What else does Taurus need to know? Time. Time is of the essence. So there may be a statute of limitations. Time is of the essence. There's an important time period or particular date that's coming up. Ooh, doggy. These readings this month are crazy. Yeah. Somebody could wear watches. I'm getting on their left hand. Yes, ma'am. Defense. Defensive. You may have to defend yourself. Also, someone could be very defensive. Yeah. I feel like someone knows that a timeline is coming to a close. Like someone knows that there's a deadline, or who got that card? Somebody got deadline. I think it was Scorpio. One of the water signs got the deadline card in this deck. You need to maybe watch that reading. Could have been Cancer, could have been Scorpio. I don't think it was Pisces. It was one of the first two that I did. But I feel like there's a deadline here. There's some type of cutoff, statute of limitations, where either you have a deadline about speaking up or taking action, okay, or someone else is running out of time to like perpetuate this negativity. And either way, that's where the aggressive energy could be coming from, because either they know they're running out of time and, you know, people are closing in, the energy is closing in, it's getting very constrictive and they're panicking. Because I've been struggling to breathe during this reading. I've been talking really slow. Like, I don't know what that is, but either that's the case, or like they know that your time is running out to say something and they're trying to put the pressure on you to prevent you from doing that. Right? And everything is going to look very negative. That's what Spirit is saying with this advice. The Three of Wands reversed. They're saying that when you walk down this path, when you go down this path, there's going to be a lot of negative signs. There's going to be a lot of negative omens that try to turn you around. But with the Devil card that came out with the Three of Wands reversed and the Knight of Wands, those omens are not genuine. They're artificial. They're being created by whoever's involved with these negative forces to scare you away or try to get you to be afraid. Look, they want you to, these 10 of swords are not hitting this person. They want you to be afraid that something bad is going to happen to you. They're making empty threats. And Spirit is saying, be brave, because they're just mad that they can't touch you. They can't do anything to you. Invitation. You could be receiving an invite to something important in the near future. Yes, ma'am. It's like this is either metaphorical and spiritual, or it's something that's literal, but has a spiritual connotation, right? So if you're getting invited to an interview to get a better job, your old job could be trying to give you a negative reference, right? If you're leaving someone or divorcing them and they're going to have to pay you some type of child support, alimony, or you're going to get the house, it's like they want you to look bad in court in front of the judge so that they can get a better deal, right? But I feel like Spirit is really telling you, like, to stand firm on your position and that you're protected. Because something is going to change, or maybe the time running out. I don't know what that means, but it's like there's a timing aspect of this reading that I feel works in your favor, okay? What's this time card? Queen of Wands. It's time for you to be confident. It's time for you to believe in what you do and what you say, and to follow your heart regardless of who supports you, regardless of who likes it or not. Queen of Cups and the Death card. Scorpio energy, possibly Cancer, Pisces, and the Queen of Wands, Leo, Aquarius. Damn, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, maybe Aquarius. There's a strong, confident, loving, nurturing, feminine energy that is going through some type of transformation. It's time to put something to rest. This cycle has been going on for a long time. I feel like you've been lacking confidence, and now is the time for you to embrace it and understand how powerful you are. Stop giving your power away. And if you've decided that you're going to be this way, I'm just confirming what you already chose. Wow. There's a lot of devil energy. And the Five of Wands. See what I'm saying? This could literally be the proverbial devil that people say, oh, the devil's trying to do this. The devil's trying to do that. You could literally be sleeping with the devil, living with the devil, laying next to the devil, working with the devil. The devil could literally be your boss. I just heard Leviticus. So there could be, is there like a Bible verse in Leviticus that aligns with this for all of you out there who kind of know the Bible? Put it in the comments. If you know the Leviticus verse that is apparently here in my head that I don't know, because I'm not very biblical. I don't regularly read the Bible and know it from front to back. Put it in the comments. I would love to look at it. But we have the Five of Wands here. Is there a Leviticus verse about the devil? Let's look it up. Let me look it up real quick. Hold on. So the only Leviticus verse that I found, I put in Leviticus, the devil Bible verse. So it brought up Leviticus 17:7, and it says the most direct reference to devils in Leviticus is in Leviticus 17:7, where the Israelites are forbidden from offering sacrifices unto devils, quotations. However, many scholars and commentators explain that the original Hebrew word translated as devils is sarim or sarim, which literally means hairy ones, quotations, and refers to goat-like idols, particularly those worshipped in Egypt. No, and then she meowed. Snowflake meowed when I said Egypt. So it says, Leviticus 17, they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils after whom they have gone a-whoring. So basically when people say something about whoring, it doesn't necessarily mean prostitution. It may mean like, you know, don't whore yourself for a corrupt politician, or don't whore yourself for a corrupt company. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just give away yourself or give away your power, give away your gifts for someone who you know is corrupt or negative. And then it basically says the literal meaning is that the Hebrew term serum refers to hairy ones or shaggy goats. And in this context, it signifies goat-like deities that the Israelites were tempted to worship. And the context is that this verse is a prohibition against idolatry, so idol worship, specifically the worship of pagan gods that were depicted in goat form and practice common among the Egyptians and other ancient peoples. But, you know, you got to take that with a grain of salt because who wrote the Bible? You get what I'm saying? It was regular people. But I feel like it's a metaphor for like idol worship and like it kind of feels like somebody who is it because the Five of Pentacles is here with the Five of Wands and then the Devil. I feel like you guys know or feel confident that it's time for something to change. You can feel the shift. You can feel it. It's discernible, right? Wheel of Fortune. And Spirit is guiding you to take the steps that you feel necessary for you to take because of things that are going on that are maybe unlawful or corrupt around you, or to speak on things that you've experienced, because you're not the only one who feels this way. You're not the only one who's experienced this. And it's like time for you to speak up about it, or it's time for you to take the action that you feel guided to take. Because I can't tell you what that is, but I know you feel guided to take some type of action. And it feels like because there's so much chaos and conflict and people competing with each other, it's like there's something about you teaching people that love and confidence and belief in like positive change is the answer. Like there's something about you spreading this message of optimism when there's a lot of influence around you of pessimism. And it could be, it's like people in this impoverished position on the Five of Pentacles are like, they're only turning to these negative idols or these negative influencers or these negative people who are in positions of power because they have some type of lack. Or either they lack the knowledge or they lack the resources to be able to fight against it. Or they lack the spiritual power. And then they fight in the streets and all this stuff. It just feels like Spirit wants you guys to realize that you're connected to someone or you're connected to something that is creating instability, insecurity, and lack in your life. And it's causing a conflict that now they want you to be confident to make a change. And whether that's like specifically in your personal life or whether it's with things that you see, things that you do every day, like the way you carry yourself. I don't know what this is exactly referring to because it's kind of creepy, to be honest. But if you are meant to hear this message, it's going to make sense to you and you're going to get whatever message you need to hear. It just feels like to me, if you are connected to someone who you know is doing something bad and you're not speaking up or, you know, disconnecting or, you know, doing the right thing in the situation, you're going to go down with the ship. And I don't want to wish that on you, but like, I just can't help but with all the times the Devil came out, I just can't help but feel like you've been warned several times. If that's you. And if you're a person who's been witnessing this going on and you've been speaking up and, you know, people have attacked you for it, I feel like Spirit is just reaffirming your strength not to give up. Because there's a shift happening where I feel like people may finally start to listen to you because there's something that I feel like is happening that people can't ignore. It's like they feel it, they know, or there's a result legally that could be happening that kind of like proves that you're right. Or something could be happening in your life that proves somebody else wrong. Not sure exactly what that is, child. This reading was very cryptic. What's the advice for Taurus? This was Taurus's reading, right? Okay, rebirth. Every end is a new beginning. Pisces got that. I feel like everybody should watch the water sign readings because it's Scorpio season, first of all, and there's a lot of water in the astrology. Also, support. Seek support. You don't have to bear everything alone, right? So either seek spiritual support or seek support from people who you know love and care about you. Because, you know, when a baby is born, usually they're not born alone. The only person who's with them, regardless, is the mother. But they're often, you know, family, friends. They're supporting the mother, supporting the baby. There's doctors and nurses. Like, usually babies are not born alone. So it's like whatever you're birthing into existence, whatever you're creating, whatever you are called to do, your spirit team wants you to know that you have support. Meditation. It says meditation connects you to your inner self. Yeah. Wow. Taurus, listen, I don't know, but that was the message. I hope it helped you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. If you found this reading extra helpful and you want to go the extra mile, please consider donating through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. You can check out my website for any of my services because I offer more than just personal readings. Okay. Get in the comments. Let me know if it resonates. If you know any other Bible verse in Leviticus that would, you know, closely connect to this, let me know. But that was kind of crazy. But anyway, I hope that helped you guys and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.